Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me back at the Nürburgring with the McLaren 675LT Spider. I said this was going to be one of the first stops of this tour, there's a lot more to come, but today I'm going to go out for a few laps during Touristenfahrten on the Green Hell with the Shmee-mobile that prior to this trip I've only ever driven one single lap. It was 3 years ago, summer 2017, my 7th ever lap on the Nürburgring. Well, I've now driven 89, particularly thanks over the last couple of days to attending the Nürburgring Driving Academy's courses to learn a little bit more with this car, to do quite a few laps, certainly the quickest laps I have ever driven. Today though, I'll tell you a bit more about that, get the car out on the Nürburgring and go have some fun. The 675LT is parked here at the moment in some very nice company, sandwiched between a GT3 RS and a 720S, and I expect we're going to see quite a few nice cars later on. You can hear in the background that the track is open, cars are going around, but like I said, prior to this trip, I had only driven myself in this car around the Nürburgring one single time. My first ever lap that I drove here was back in my 12C about 6 years ago. Since then I've driven the 12C, the LT Spider, the Senna, and many of the other Shmee-mobiles. But a few days ago, I had the opportunity to join the Nürburgring's sports driver training Nordschleife XL to really get to explore the Green Hell and learn about it. It started with a track walk, a very special opportunity to head around, go for a walk to see the elevations and undulations of the Nürburgring itself, but also to see the wet and dry line, which really stood out because it was a bit damp at the time. I then had the full day driving, which started with some lead follow laps to get the best line, to get the best braking points, turning points, apex marks, to really start to get a proper feel for it, before some quick open laps where I drove this car, the quickest I've ever driven one of my cars around the Nürburgring. No question about that at all. Today though, it's Touristenfahrten. That means it's a public toll road, road rules apply. It's a great opportunity though to go and drive the car in all of its glory, ready for the occasion. We've just got to hope that it doesn't rain. It's starting to look a little bit grey. The car is ready though. We do have the Pirelli Trofeo-Rs, the semi-slick tyres, basically road legal but very track focused. Obviously the car, as the name suggests, 675 horsepower thanks to the 3.8 litre twin turbo V8 with all of the power going through the rear wheels and a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox. But basically it's the lightweight version of the 650S, the LT. It is perfectly honed in to be driven on the track, and I have to say myself, it is a magnificent thing to enjoy here at the Nürburgring. So let's get in the car, get it started, head on out and go have some fun with the LT on the Nordschleife. I'm going to go out for 2 laps. The first will be to get into the groove, go over some of the things that I was taught on that last outing, and then the second will be an opportunity to put more of those into practice. So on board here, mileage is quickly climbing up. Let's get the engine started, comfort access, electric steering column, start the car, and then gear up to head on out. Oh wow, an F12 TDF. That is very cool. I hope he's been doing some laps of the ring. So I've currently got the aircon blowing quite strongly because it is a very humid day. It is 26 degrees actually this evening. It's about 6 o'clock as we head on out, which is obviously actually not the best for a twin turbo engine. You want it to be as cool as possible, but I am going to press active dynamics panel, put the car into track and track modes. We're in manual for the shifting, and I will go ESC dynamic as well, which just gives a little bit more freedom. In this car, because of how much power it has and how light it is, it does tend to mean that if you don't go into dynamic for the traction, you get very much throttle limited. It's not traction control that interrupts, it's just making sure that you don't do anything a little bit stupid. Obviously with the Trofeo-Rs we'll need to get some temperature into them. I'm surprised we don't have warning messages popping up because obviously the tyres are slightly lower, given that they will get hot, and as the air gets hot it also expands, so the pressures go up. And I did say there would be some nice cars around. There are lots of very nice cars that have just been driving past. It also looks like it might be quite busy down here, so we will have to see exactly how this is going to go. I've got my track card. Like I said, it is Touristenfahrten, which means it is toll road, public road. Here we go then, with the cards. It's looking very, very busy ahead, but everything is basically set. It is clear, it's dry, the rain has stayed away, at least here. You never know, on the other side, it might be completely horrendous. We'll just have to see when we get around, hey? What I do know is that when we get to the carousel, the car tends to go crunch, crunch, crunch against the ground, which is not ideal. I guess in a way it's almost a souvenir of bringing it here. See lots of plates from all around, German, Luxembourg, Italian, British, C63 from Czech Republic, yeah, everything. It's a very, very busy place. Polish, another Czech, of the German. This is really cool actually, it's very international today. As we head up towards the chicane, I will put the display onto tyre pressures just so we can see exactly what they are doing. That is all good. Around here, and then away we go. Foot down. Yeah, there's a little bit of the traction, need to watch out for that at first. This car is ballistically fast. It's easy to forget that. Actually catching up with the car in front disturbingly quickly. He's on it though, he's absolutely on it with that. It's quite fun to watch. Couldn't quite get through before Hudson back, round we go. I've learned so much more now about the actual line that you should take. And this is the warm-up lap, remember? This is taking it easy to get started, to get familiar again, just to get the heat into the tyres. I can feel that they need a little bit more warming before they're fully ready to be unleashed. Trofeo Rs, when you do get them warm though, are just incredible. Foot down here, hold it flat, numbers get very big very quickly. 230, 240, so we go light over the top there, bit of braking, we want one continuous steering input through here, so we then open up towards Schwedenkreuz, the fastest section. Wow. Over the top, 270 plus, gonna watch out here as we go through the off camber. Thank you. Oh, we've got a yellow flag, And away we can go again, down towards the Vauxhall. We kick in the back when you're going downhill. We're building up for a bit more speed through the bottom here, through the compression. Feeling that. One of the few curves to ride over. The brakes are astonishing though. Carbon ceramics, of course, on the car, standard on the LT. Adding our force on the tightest sections. It's time to shift out. Here you can carry more speed than I was in the early days. Start to get some tyre squeal there. You can hear that. These are getting warm quickly. So we come down towards Mercedes. Oh, we've got an SLS. Very cool. This is the slowest point on the track. Go around the inside. Thank you, sir. Speed through, but we've got some cars right in front of us. So come on to Bergberg, heavy braking zone. Now this is one I really had to get right. The turning point is actually further around than you think. Really late apex. And then you can unwind on the exit. Go foot flat up the hill. While some of the other cars who have kindly made it possible to go straight through. This is one that you can actually go really fast through. That was somewhere before that I was often way too early on the brake. Okay, the speed up here. And again here you can hold more speed than you think through Muckcarver. Up the hill, slightly off camber though. Sometimes you do want to keep the car in a slightly higher gear to keep it a little bit more poised on the tarmac. Into Style Stracker. This car is so good. I'm going to keep it in third here just to prevent some slippage on the exit, which you often get. Now carousel in this car is an interesting one because you do have to dip it in quite early to keep the car stable. As you go in later, you actually just end up scraping all the way around, but obviously at the moment it is quite busy, so we're not going to be going around particularly quickly. No souvenirs needed. We're scraping the under tray. where you have the Whipperman challenge to do it as spectacularly as possible. We'll bump on the curb slightly. And yellow flag. Little jump as we go over the crest. Thank you to the Clio. Now this section is really fast. Slightly earlier here gives you a better exit. Sometimes sacrificing some of your turn-in so that you get the exit slightly more posed. Overbroke there though, still a lot to learn, and that's where the driver training comes in really to help significantly improve. Just learn more, learn. This little carousel, a bit early in, and now it's towards the end. I'm actually going to let the brakes cool. I tell you what though, I feel so at home in this car. Of all of the cars I own, the two that I've enjoyed the most here at the Nürburgring are the AMG GTR Pro, because it feels completely at home. This is its element. This is where that car is natural. It's where it was engineered and developed. And after the GTR Pro, it's this, the 675LT, because I've done so many miles in the P11-chassis McLarens, the 12C, 650 Spider, LT Coupe, LT Spider. Between the cars, it's about 50,000 miles, 80,000 kilometers. So when it comes to a supercar, this is basically my definition of it, and it just feels right. It just feels natural. Yeah, pretty epic. My heart is pounding. At the exit, you can either leave or you can go straight through to go out for another lap. So that is exactly what I am going to do. I'm going to go straight through here. We've got the barriers on the right-hand side as well, conveniently. So, pull up. Tyre pressures are all looking good. We've got 2.3 front, 2.6 rear, which is slightly on the higher end for this car, but obviously after a quick lap, that is always going to be expected. But we will go straight on through, which hopefully this time won't be quite so wishy-washy when I put my foot down, because the tyres have enough temperature in them. So away we go. It still wants to dance around. Right now, how much car you get for the money is moderately absurd. It's so fast. I can't believe that this is effectively the first McLaren model. Remember, the 12C evolved into this. This isn't like a company that's been around for 50 years. This is the hardcore version of their first car. Braking. Let's come round through Hudson back then. Feeling the tyres, keep it left here, bumpy, bit of braking in through the first corner, small bit of extra braking, keep the car stable, keep it in check. Early, oh, thank you Audi, need to watch out for that. I don't think he's aware of me behind him, obviously overtaking only on the left, so I need to be doubly cautious here, just watching. As well, who might not be expecting me to approach at such speed. And now we come up to Schwebenkreuz. Got quite a few cars in front though. It's the thing with a car like this, it's so fast that you just catch everybody unbelievably quickly. Woohoo! Around here. Feeling that lean and yellow flag, no overtaking. On the brakes, hazard warning lights. We're through the yellow flags, back on the power, down to the vauxhall. That compression is just insane. And now forced. Boggles my mind is how quickly in a car like this you can catch up with people. Obviously the car itself doing a huge part of the work to help you drive so astonishingly quickly. This is where in the wet you need a complete today, the slowest part of the cycling. Oh, hold it in. It's amazing actually how different lines of different cars can actually work like that. Okay, thank you, sir. That man is on it. That man is absolutely on it. Fantastic. Good effort, sir. Sections then, little carousel. On this corner you want to come in later than I was before and hold it around the inside for the faster exit. Another thing that I learned. Then we come up towards Galgacop, where here you can carry more speed normally than I did, because you want to keep it again wide, round towards the Portaloos and then tuck it in. And that is the end of the Nürburgring Nordschleife. And this car is phenomenal, and the amount I have personally progressed having driven on the Driving Academy course is gigantic, honestly. The difference even from the last time I was here to now, I'm really, really pleased. I'm really pleased that I did it. I've been umming and ahhing about it for quite a long time. The guys convinced me to come, and it helped so much. Like the amount I can feel now that I didn't know before. Oh, this is a playground. The only thing that's a bit scary is how fast it's getting. Obviously de-restricted roads as you go around, but from a personal level, it's getting quite brisk. So, yeah. Wow, that was genuinely epic. I totally love this car. This car, because I just feel like I connect with it so well. I know the thing so well that I can come here and I can really drive it. Like really drive it. This on the Pro, the Senna is scary because it's too fast. This might sound stupid, but on a place like this, yes, at Spa it's magnificent, but here it's too fast. The Ford GT is a bit too special and too valuable, but the values of these have come down, and I feel like you can start to play with it a little bit more. Yes, the expenses like wheels, tyres and brakes are going to start getting significant. Just glorious, just absolutely glorious. Back in with the end of the day sunshine and a Lamborghini Huracan Performante that's here now as well, but what an outing on the Nürburgring with the 675LT Spider. This car is so at home there, and especially now that I've done the driving training and learned a little bit more, there is still plenty more to learn about the Green Hell, but you can probably see even through the video how much it helps improve confidence, ability. That sounds good as well, doesn't it? The 5.2 V10 as that goes on out. Just everything about being back here. So a huge thanks to the guys who really helped me during that training day. It was a lot of fun, a lot to learn, and now bringing the car back out at Touristenfahrten as well. This will not be the end. There's plenty more. As the Lambo heads off, there's plenty more to come with this car. This journey is only just beginning. In fact, I'm going to be heading down towards Italy, hopefully over towards France as well. We'll see how all of that goes, and then, well, potentially even back here at some point later on in the year as well. For now though, thank you very much for watching. As always guys, you'll find the information down below about the Nürburgring Driving Academy, but that is it for this time, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!